Are you hacking something?
I am. Oh, you think because of the hoodie? No, I'm just replying to your comment in Slack saying yes, I know.
So
But
it's good that you're smiling about it because I was like, oh, how are we going to do this? Good, good. I
uh,
honestly disagree, but if though I might, but I don't see how that's related to the browser, but it's okay.
it really doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, I cannot see you. Are you hiding on
I
purpose?
know because I just came back from a run and I'm not presentable, so you can
Oh,
only
okay.
hear.
That's fine. I have a few things to share with you, starting with two things that are to do with author. I just want to show off to my good friend, and then something very relevant to us very briefly after.
Yeah.
Uh, oh yeah, first thing, I ordered a computer yesterday, obviously a MacBook via Bruce Horn, so I got a good discount. It's the new MacBook Pro with the top level everything.
Yeah.
So it's only a 14 inch, not a 16 inch, because I couldn't carry it, but it's got 128 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah.
So this
And
means,
it's
hmm?
the special like unified kind of RAM. So if you want to run your AI, LLM, and everything on your device, that should work well.
That's exactly it. So I can now start doing local AI work in our community. And I feel like I've spent this incredibly large amount of money on living maybe 5 years in the future
Yeah.
to do the research. So yeah, that's very exciting. Right. So yeah, the two things that I just author kind of related, and we'll get into the thing that is very related. So I'm just going to show you in Jira. This is not sure why it's not loading. Do that again. It's funny. My current machine is a. It used to be fast. But yeah, it's a bit, even for me, it's a bit jerky. Let me just quit a few things. I don't need all of this running. Right, okay, let's try that again. So the first one is I spent some time with Jonathan Finn yesterday, who is helping us copy edit the book. And I showed him the feature of author that is cuttings. Just a brief reminder. I'm going to go to our test document here. So this is, what I'm showing you now is of course live. So if you cut something using Command X, then
Mhm.
and then you cut something else, you haven't lost the first bit because it's all kept for you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hidden feature. So at first, he was really happy. He wanted to use that with his work. So the first thing I'm doing is in the context menu, at the top, we will have cuts. We didn't have it before because I expect people to know copy, bold, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Reason for that is then if you don't select text, well, this is irrelevant. Um, hang on. If you don't select text, no, yeah, first of all, it'll be full screen basically. And it'll also be available at the bottom of the screen, cuttings.
Mhm.
Hang on, I'm very glad I'm showing you this because there's a screenshot missing. Hmm. So how many times screenshot? When not selected, okay, boom. So I'm just putting that, yeah, when text is not selected, at the top you have cuttings. So I'm showing all of this to Vince Cerf on Monday, and he is, very happy about the work. But he says, "Oh, you do all these keyboard shortcuts," and I want him to show that author basically works on the principle of keyboard on context menu.
Mhm.
So that's the first thing. Having cuttings available, having them big when you use them, having them there, but also when you don't select text, it's the top thing because
If
that matches.
if um, if you did not show, for example, the cut shortcut initially, because you thought it would, um, I don't know, like make noise, basically, real
Yeah.
estate being lost, then I suggest you add an option to hide it in the deep down in the preferences, because it means it's something for power users. Like power
Yeah.
users, they might indeed, it's safe to assume that they know what cutting as a shortcut is. And there might be indeed one preferring like you are a power user, basically. You're like the power user of the app. And if it bothers you, if it's not too much work, and I don't think it is, that's also why I highlight it. You can still have both. Let's say by default, the default option is show the shortcut so that people who discover it, they can still relearn it or reconsider it in that context. But if there are power users that are really bothered by it, and it's relatively free in terms of development, which I'm rather sure it is, then keep it as an option, because as a power user, I love it when I go to preference and like I'm nearly overwhelmed by options because like, wow, I can do so much. So that might be a compromise.
Yeah, but the thing is, I spend so much time sweating over context menus because if you go into something like Pages, I think there's a lot of stuff that isn't that useful. Oh, it's added writing tools. Oh, very cool. Morning, darling. Emily's awake. Um, so I tried to do as little as possible. I hear you. It's just that something like bold and italic. No, never gonna add that. But I'll keep thinking about it because it's an ongoing thing.
Mhm.
I just feel that for the novice user, it can very quickly become too long, this list.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. And so the second thing is this one. And that is, I currently have this function.
Well, just before you go there, is it related to the clipboard or not?
What do you mean?
Like the
Oh,
first
this.
thing you showed me was related to clipboard.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
it?
It's
Okay.
basically a ever-expanding clipboard, but not for copy, only for cuts, and only for cut if you don't paste it immediately.
And do you have currently the clipboard? What are the affordances that you have to the clipboard itself now? Is it through those functions and shortcut, but you cannot see its content, or can you see the clipboard itself from author? I mean, not from the OS.
Seeing the clipboard is really, really hard on the Mac. The clipboard contains many things, like it contains text that is formatted, unformatted, and more. So
Okay.
it's really good, but to actually see it, even though I've downloaded all kinds of software, it's not really available now.
Okay. I'm asking because on KDE, which is the window manager for Linux I'm using, I do have a clipboard and I have like the last URLs, the images I cut or paste, or um, like a bunch of stuff, and it's not bad. Like I like it, and I can go back in history, and so I'm wondering if there might be a way to have affordances on the clipboard within author, and if it would be, yeah, if it's the case, or and if not, why not?
Well, yeah, I mean, not really, because we don't have access to much. But what we have is, oh yeah, you see, it's not here yet. It's hidden. So all it is in here. Whatever chunks there are, you can either delete them or paste them. That's all you can. So if you double click, you paste.
But it's the live content, or it's the history of the last actions and their content.
History, and if I quit author, I didn't know I had that open, and then I start it again, it's still there.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's the history only for that
Right.
document.
Okay, but it makes sense. It's good.
So you see, there it is still. So
Yeah.
that's why Jonathan liked it, because it allows him to put things he's not sure where should go yet.
Yeah.
So the next thing, before we get to what I think is probably the most exciting, is as you know, we have a Chat GPT integration, and
Hmm.
it is the design is to help people think, not to think for them. So here is obviously this is a bit rubbish text, but the prompt I'll show you for reference. The prompt for this checking writing thing is this. So it says, I'm about to share this text. I'm pretty happy with it. If you find any issue, please do this. Please ignore this because it's special to author, blah, 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 right?
Hmm.
So then on the side, I get it like this, right? Maybe you should deal with this and so on. It varies. And also ChatGPT is quite fast now. It's not super fast, but see, just look at this. So I've asked it to do the bolding and stuff because I render markup now. So it can be split, it can be done. Cool, right?
Yes.
So then, without doing any actual work, this, see at the very bottom of the list here?
Yes.
Polish. So instead of having it hidden in Ask AI, at the bottom of the list, there is an option to polish the text, and it just
Yep.
runs that prompt. That's it,
Yeah.
and you can edit it yourself. Um, I just realized that there's a mistake there. So see, this is the secret. You design software in proper stuff. This is all I do. Basically Photoshop. But not basically Photoshop, actually just Photoshop.
That's how the sausage is made.
This is definitely making sausage. I just realized that there should be a divider between these, because it is quite different. So now we're moving into what you and I are collaborating on, and so I started writing this piece on reading two-page spreads extended. So talk a little bit about the page thing, document centrism, and then of course the extended, which is the point of what we do. And what should be in this is the list you've already gone through, of course, was kind of hard because it was a bit abstract. But at least,
Oh.
what's that?
So so when you ask me that question about what kind of data should be incorporated, I can already tell you, if you ask me again, it's always the same answer. It's like everything, because I want to have access to everything I can, because I don't really know in advance what's going to be useful or not. And everything that is clearly defined, even if it's useless, I can just ignore it. So it's literally free. It might take a little bit more data, but it's not. We're not talking like video files, for example. So the answer will always be as much data as is available and structured. But even if it's imperfectly structured, that is okay. Like we can recover.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, that's cool. That's really good. By the way, um, just while talking to you, Apple Intelligence has become available.
Mhm.
And when I click on this little thing, I get these options. If I now click proofread, look how little it does. If I now click replace, that's it. Right, so it did two hyphen spread, but also
Yeah.
things that are inside here are not ruined. That's really key. But okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, so I've been really struggling with this list, and I agree with you. It's good what you say. We don't know, and it can be too much. So I started with this list of when you're reading, ideally you should have that. So that means when you're authoring, I wrote a different list, which is this is the special stuff, additionally, and blah, blah, blah. But it gets a bit abstract. And then I started working on actually writing it for my programmers, which means I have to think in a different way, right?
Yeah.
So are you ready?
Show me.
This is very exciting. So this is the export dialog in Author, and everything is basically there except for this section of abstract keywords, concepts, and names. So what I've done is done AI suggest on the right. So the point of this is if someone like, I won't mention Mark's name, but someone like him who hates AI, he may want to type in here, and that's totally legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
Someone may click AI suggest, it'll fill in these fields, and then of course the user can still edit them.
Yeah.
And that goes into the document as BibTeX and JSON, or just JSON. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. So we open the document I just had, authoring two-page spreads. I have this as a test. I just call it abstract generation, I haven't renamed it. And I asked it to do JSON results, and this is what it does. Nice.
Yes.
So that means that when you export from, because also look at this. under names, this is really, really important. That's how we connect documents in XR space. Partly names, partly concepts, partly keywords, right?
Yeah.
The fact that it's giving it to me as JSON, so this could literally be pasted in the PDF, couldn't it?
Yes, it can be pasted in the wherever, yeah.
So I'm going to send you a document now as a test. Let blah, blah, blah. It should all be normal, not normal visual meta, just leaving it like this. So calling it JSON test. So this is what it looked. Okay, hang on. That should have been. So do you think you can extract this?
I can, but it's less convenient than a separate JSON file.
Yes, but with all due loving respect, I don't care.
Okay, but if I don't feel like it on that day and I feel it's too much work, I won't do it.
I know. No, but I don't care. It has two meanings. I want this in here, but if you also quote unquote insist on JSON, we can do that also.
It's because, so initially, first, it's literally like an extra step. If you send me a JSON file, like just the JSON file, it's for free. Like I parse it, like there is a JSON.parse function and it's boom, done. And then I can access the content. But if I don't, I need to extract it from the PDF. And I don't know how predictable that is because maybe, stop there. That's a good example actually, because here it's displayed, yes. I can probably get it, but there are at least two problems. Number one is the page numbering, the 6, 7. You see, when you highlight it, the 6 is in it.
Yes.
And that's scary to me.
No, no, oh my God, I'm so glad I called you because that is the entire point of us having these dialogues. Because look at this. When you go to the actual visual meta, there's no page numbers.
Right. That's better.
So boom.
And there is no formatting, I think, that would break things because like line breaks and all this kind of things.
So I just texted you just so you get it plain. Actually, no, let's just put it back here in the test document as well. No, that's not what we want. Right, this is what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Because visual meta is, hang on, let me delete this. Because visual meta is, first of all, tiny and one column. And
so there is still, sorry, but two things. Number one is I'll have to go soon.
Okay.
And number two, here it's less scary, but there is still a page break. And I don't know how, if there is an element of luck, let's say if it breaks without being like with some text in it. So it's still scary. It's definitely scarier than a .json file.
Okay. Can we do this compromise that you please have a look at this in your system and I also make a JSON file for you?
Yeah. So having a look is no problem, and I'm curious to see it's how reproducible it is. It's not because I can easily get that one example working that is going to work with every example. Whereas with JSON, I worked on a prototype yesterday, I want to say, and there is a risk that people try to hack it, let's say. So I need to sanitize the input content from the random user. And how do I even do it? It's because JSON is so stable and it's like everybody uses it all the time. The function JSON parse, I'm rather sure that is not going to make my system hacked. So this is like such a safety, a way to do things correctly that it's used in so many ways that it is good. Here again, it's not. Is it impossible to make it work? No, sure, I can make it work, and anybody else can probably make it work relatively easily. Is it going to work every time? This is really hard for me to say, and I would say probably not.
Yeah, but hang on, we've solved the problem because if you have a few more seconds,
Yeah.
I can show you here. This is how I get the type right. It's a bit roundabout. So sorry. I just have to write it whatever was there. scale it, and then I'm going to try to make you happy because that's actually my job, to make you happy. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Why not?
Very good. So now that's safe. Now that's something that I'm confident that can be parsed and thus can be used like 99.9999% of the time. I want to even say nearly 100%, but just being conservative.
Okay, so basically what we need then is, I do need a test for doing it from here as a proof of concept. So if you have a chance to do that at some point, that would be lovely. But we can, I can happily agree with you that we use the JSON as the workhorse.
Yep. Have ask somebody else. Ask maybe not a random stranger, but somebody at least who is used to parsing files, so that maybe I want to like push you in a corner and then we're stuck because it's a bad idea. But
No, but Fabien, JSON works.
Yep.
We love JSON, and so now we've found a compromise where we put it on the PDF, and that is legacy, maybe AI in 100 years. It's at least it's there, but our working system is the separate JSON.
Yes.
Good. I'm going to put this online unlisted if you don't mind. This was useful.
Sure, sure.
Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I look forward to Monday.
See you then.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.